All right, Capricorn, welcome to your monthly horoscope for March of 2015. My name is Athen. All right, so we've got a transformational month this month, very powerful. We've got the Uranus Pluto square going exact for the last time, the last aspect this month. This has been the ongoing theme for the past 3 years of our life, of change, of stepping into that power, wanting freedom, independence, and overall enjoyment and excitement in life. So that's a final integration here, final transformations, and it's leading through the solar eclipse energy, which is happening later on in the month, on the 20th, involving that Uranus and South Node energy squaring up to Pluto. So very powerful. And it starts here on the 1st, and we have Venus going conjunct over the South Node, which is enjoying the releasing energy, wanting to release the old, wanting to get rid of the old belief systems, thinking patterns, things that are just holding us back in a particular area of life. And this is involving your third house, okay? This is part of this whole squaring energy, is involving your communications, your thinking patterns in particular, your insights, your belief systems. Also, your learning, teaching, sharing, communicating on a mundane level. All this stuff is third house, okay? Now, this has been the Uranus energy to this, so you're breaking free from this. And there's, again, those old systems and beliefs about, your insights and communications that just need to be let go of, or you wanting to let go of it, okay? And this is creating that freedom and change, very powerful catalytic this month. And that's what Uranus symbolizes, is creating freedom. The freedom to, in this sense, express yourself, to communicate, to share, to learn, to be your true authentic self when it comes to perhaps your vocalization or your writing or whatever it is that you're exchanging with others. That energy is squaring up to the Pluto energy, which has been transiting your 12th house, which has to do with the behind-the-scenes activities, your spirituality, the deeper essence of life, all of these things that are essentially behind the scenes, beyond the realm of the conscious mind. So Pluto there is releasing some attachments and old notions. Again, that's what Pluto does. Past life energy of releasing that stuff also. It's very etheric. A lot of stuff takes place here in the dream space. It may not be very conscious in terms of what's actually happening, but what is happening and what you can see as a result from it is that you are creating more power in your life through the spiritual stuff, through going with the flow, compassion, having that presence in what you're doing, perhaps, the meditative stuff, whatnot. All of these old notions about these things is being stripped away. And the only thing that's being left is the true core of these things. So you're stepping into a tremendous amount of power, spiritual power, with Pluto in that 12th house. And it's because you are stepping into it. And you're stepping into it because you're wanting this change and you want to take charge. And that's exactly what you want to do this month, is step into the spiritual side of yourself. Take charge, take the power back of the spiritual elements of your life, and also in regards to your communications, teaching, sharing, all these third house activities involving Uranus. There's some freedom that's trying to be had, trying to break free here, and this is exactly what this month is about. So on the 1st, when Venus goes over that South Node, it's wanting to release these things, okay? There's an enjoyment to be had, an enjoyment in your communications in particular. So enjoy those communications for the first half of this month before she shifts signs, and that's going to, I think, create a good sense of enjoyment of this, which is going to help assist these changes. Now on the 1st, we have Jupiter trining up to Uranus as well, and Mercury opposing up to that Jupiter. So with Jupiter here, Jupiter's been transiting your 7th house of relationships. It's been a lot of expansion, a lot of abundance in terms of this area, perhaps new contacts, things maybe expanding with existing relationships. But he is retrograde, so it is a reflective period right now, so it may not seem so outwardly in the moment. But if you look to last year, you'll see the expansion that took place in that part of your life. But in either case, that energy is creating optimism, okay? Perhaps it's optimism through relationships, being motivated by relationships, whatever. That is creating a positive support for you this month, particularly the 1st through the 4th when Jupiter trines up to that Uranus. Now, because that Jupiter is opposing up to Mercury, you guys want to ground this energy with the things you learned last month in March regarding that Mercury retrograde in your 1st, regarding the things that your goals, your drive, your ambition, how to increase perhaps your prana, your motivational energy, or your moving forward goals, ambitions, these types of things, whatever you learned about this. perhaps working it into the routine or communicating in some way with Mercury. You want to ground that self energy with the other energy. So grounding self with other, not going to one extreme or the other. But I think naturally that optimism is going to assist either way. But to really get the most out of this optimism is ground these opportunities with others and this new stuff you learned about yourself, okay, and the importance of your own goals, your own motivations, and your own drives. Now on the 4th, we have then Venus going over Uranus, activating again that Uranus energy here with Venus. It's enjoying it, okay, enjoying freedom. Enjoy that freedom around the 4th. This is again, it's helping, it's catalyzing all of this change. And it's excitement, I think, wanting excitement, wanting change, wanting to communicate, to be free, to exchange, to relate, all these third house things, or learn or teach or whatever. Nice energy from Venus there, wanting it. Now this is where things start to become motivational because we have Mars going over the South Node on the 4th. Now Mars is playing a very important role this month, very energetic momentum here that we want to tap into. And here on the 4th, it's regarding these old ideas, old notions regarding the third house, communications, thoughts, whatever it is. And so there's a energy to be used here, so utilize it. This is a drive. It's no longer just wanting it, it's driven to release yourself from these old things regarding that third house, you see. Step into it. Mars is helping, and I think through that it'll gain a nice momentum to further these changes this month. Now on the 5th, we have a full moon in your 8th house. You guys had a new moon taking place in your 2nd house last month in February in regards to your sense of self-worth. So whatever that was, the new beginnings there regarding sense of self-worth, your values, what's important to you in life, the deeper meaning of life when it comes to the things you enjoy, that is now culminating here, okay, around the 5th, and it's creating a lot of support and a lot of opportunity and abundance to put energy towards, again, these major shifts and changes. So step into that abundance. That full moon is trining up to Pluto. It's a full moon in Leo, which is expressive, okay, and it has a lot to do with the deeper elements of life because it is taking place in your 8th house. So enjoying life on that deep level, I think, wanting the deep connections, wanting that deep connection to, you know, all areas of your life, home, family, work, finances, whatever, is going to help support, that positive energy is going to help support a lot of these transformations. You see, the first 10 days of this month is very motivational, very energetic. So we want to utilize that to get that momentum building. Now on the 8th, Mercury goes into Aquarius, which is your 2nd house. So I think naturally you'll be thinking about this self-worth, finances, working it out, working with it. That's what Mercury does, and that's just natural because you did just have that new moon there. So I think it's going to be on your mind, and you can work with those energies. And that's going to be a sort of background sort of thing going on, that 2nd house this month of your sense of self-worth. Then on the 9th, Mars trines up to Jupiter. So this is where the optimism is no longer just in the etheric or we're just thinking about it. This is where we have the opportunity to channel it in. It's all the days surrounding the 9th, a few days before, a few days after. So take that optimism and use it. This is a trine energy, so we can use it or not, but it's available, okay? Now on the 11th, Mars then goes exact over Uranus. So this is activating this Uranus-Pluto square because on that day, Uranus-Pluto goes exact on the 11th and goes on through the 22nd. So you see Mars is a very important, taking a very important role this month of activating that Uranus-Pluto squaring energy. And it's from that drive, that ambition, taking charge. You see, initiative, taking that initiative in our life to make these changes. And so again, for you, it's specifically involving the communications, learning, teaching, sharing, etc. Okay, and if you don't know exactly what it is, that's fine. The energies of awareness are coming a little bit later on in the month, and I think just getting that ball moving, getting that momentum moving in this particular area is going to help the awareness come a little bit later on down the road. You just want to get this, momentum building. Now on the 12th, I think we can enjoy this momentum because Venus goes into Aries. This is for all of us, seeing the enjoyment of this. And for you, it has to do with your 4th house, actually. So perhaps, this is the interesting thing, is the 3rd house is the communication and how we are, expressing ourselves and learning and that whole sort of thinking energy of our existence. But once we understand the thinking realm, the communicative realm, then we start to go one step further and we start thinking about what's important to our feelings. You know, and that's what the fourth house symbolizes, the bottom of the chart also, the feelings, the emotions, the past, the roots, where you come from, your home, your family. Venus goes in there. She's the first of the fast-moving planets to go into your fourth house, but you can see as these fast movers go in there, a lot of these transformations taking place in the third are leading you into the fourth. And so here it starts on the 12th with you. You can enjoy your home and family, enjoy your feelings, share your feelings, relate emotionally with others, all of these things through this month and into April. So that's the enjoyment for you. I really recommend you tap into it because that's the joy, the fun of the month in particular, second half. Now on the 14th, we've got Saturn going retrograde. So there is this reflection, okay? And the reflection has to do with these new systems and structures that perhaps you're building in regards to your 11th house of groups, friends, big picture, collective stuff, your role in the community, your role in the world, giving, being of service, gaining more abundance from your work. The 11th house is the wealth and abundance you get from your work, second from the 10th. And of course, the most wealth and most abundance we get from our work is the satisfaction of giving and being of service. And that's what the 11th house really symbolizes. So those new structures that you've been building in terms of perhaps being of service, now reflecting on that from the 14th for the next 5 months or so with that Saturn retrograde. So it is playing a role here, and I think reflecting on that is going to help support these shifts and changes. On the 14th, this is where the middle month here, this is where things become illuminated, okay? There's an awareness happening. The sun goes into Pisces, that third house. So where there was just the mundane things happening with the third house here, with Mars and Venus, now the sun goes into the third. So this is shining that torch, that conscious awareness of Pisces, which is that awareness of behind the scenes unconscious stuff taking place, but in your third house, because your guys' communication is this sort of, you know, it's going with the flow, right? That's how you guys communicate best. So with the sun here, it's understanding not only more about the communications and thoughts and insights of yourself, but of your unconscious self as well. So there's a lot of this unconscious discovery, a lot of it having to do with perhaps these old, you know, past things regarding, you know, communications that might be holding you back or that you want to let go of. And so the sun here is helping you understand more about that. Okay, and that's why I'm saying the awareness really starts to come almost midway of after these shifts and changes happen mid-month, earlier in the mid-month. Now on the 18th, we've got Mercury going conjunct over Neptune in that second house of yours. So you guys had Neptune transiting your second house for a long time. This is about going with the flow when it comes to the abundance, self-worth, and finances. Okay, so now with Mercury going over Neptune, there is some spiritual understanding being gained in regards to that second house for you. So that is another sort of breadcrumb or addition to this information that perhaps you're gaining about this whole process of transformations of your third house and of your spirituality with Pluto in that 12th. Now on the 20th, we got the solar eclipse in the third house. Your communication, your teaching, sharing, learning, same stuff here, new beginnings, okay? And again, this is where insights can come. This is the adjustment of our life path. So reflecting around the 20th in regards to these overall third house matters is going to help build a solid foundation for the next 6 months and for your whole life in general, because these solar eclipse energies are an adjustment of the overall life path. So you want to reflect around this time. That's going to help facilitate these changes as they slowly start to unfold later on in the month and in early April and onward. Okay. Now, like I said, on the 22nd, the Uranus Pluto square eases up. That's when the energies start to dissipate. So whatever changes were done, we can start to move forward with them and integrate them. And the integration is actually very energetic because that Mars goes into Aries where he's in dignity, and that's your fourth house. So where Venus was in your fourth of enjoying home, family, the roots, and these types of things, now Mars goes in there. So whatever it was, whatever these shifts and changes happened, it's helping you connect more to your feelings, helping you connect more to your past, your roots, your home, etc. And it's a strong motivational force for you this month in April and beyond, okay? Setting that solid foundation of home, family, roots, emotional body, etc. And maybe it does have to do with these communications. Maybe it does have to do with the spirituality stuff. But in either case, putting energy into that fourth house sector is going to help get that ball moving even more. On the 27th, we've got Mercury going into Pisces, that third house. I think naturally there's going to be more thinking in regards to these behind the scenes activities, in regards to your communications and insights, and that's natural. And so there's more to be learned here. There's more, and it's again, it's in Pisces, so it's behind the scenes, listening to dream space and learning more about all this communication or insight stuff into April. Then the last aspect of the month, we've got the Sun conjunct over the South Node on the 30th. Spiritual awareness of the third house. So you see, as the month unfolds, there's more and more information being learned, and that information is even following into April a little bit, but it's coming from this action and this energy and this momentum of moving forward in the area of your third house and the 12th house. All right, Capricorn, have a fantastic month. Thanks again for all of your support. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do weekly and daily horoscopes if you'd like to watch those, also yearly as well. And I want to thank you all again. Have a great month. Thanks for watching.